Hey friends, this is Crossing's financial update video for the third quarter of 2025. If you get our weekly emails and are paying attention to the fine print at the bottom, which I know you all are, you'll see our monthly need and giving updates there. And you will see that here at the end of September, we've raised just over half of our budget need for the year. I will say more about this in a second, but first I wanted to tell you about an interesting conversation I had a little while back. So, a friend and I were sitting on my porch right here. Someone who is really not sure about the faith in God and Jesus thing, but when it comes to healing and love and inclusion and harm reduction, the stories of Jesus are really compelling. And she said something on my porch that day that I don't think I'll forget. She said, I've met too many people who feel like their faith and their God has been taken from them. And I just don't think that's right. To take someone's God, which is also often their hope and stability, to take that from them is one of the more horrible things I think you can do to people. And well, theologically, I don't know if I believe God can be like taken from people. I think I understand what she was saying. I think she was saying that she's met this whole collection of people out there who don't actually want to give up on God or their faith tradition. But because of the ways God and Christ and Jesus and Christianity have been represented and misrepresented, they, with all good intentions, and after years of really trying, see no other way forward than to remove themselves from the more formalized faith community church thing and cut off part of their life that has been so foundational. What my friend's story reminded me was that yes, crossings exists for those of us who regularly participate in the Sunday gathering and in small groups and in our neighborhoods and stuff. And I know crossings existence is important for a whole lot of people out there who may never step foot in our gatherings. People who may not live in Knoxville, people who may never actually participate in any of our groups or any of the organized things that we do together. There are people out there who believe in the work Crossings is doing in our neighborhoods and our communities, and they are thankful for the ways we gather each week to provide this generous and healing space to wrestle through the hard questions of life and faith and God in ways that truly they don't feel safe or comfortable doing elsewhere. So I hear all the time about people who are thankful for the space we've created together at Crossings to learn and to tell stories from our sacred texts about a God whose love is always expanding, a space for people to delicately step back into the faith thing again, a space for people to find out they don't actually have to walk out or give up on their experiences of God or faith community to take care of themselves or to stay true to what they know to be right and good in other areas of life. That there's actually a room full of people in Knoxville who gather on Sundays and in homes throughout the week who share a similar story. I know we don't have it all figured out. No church does. I also want you all to know that what Crossings is doing in Knoxville is the source of hope for people you don't know and will probably never meet. So for them and for us, we want to continue to do our best to listen and to create this space for one another, to be good stewards of all God has collectively given us, to study, to work, to pray, to sing, and set the table of a story that anchors us around the restoration of all things. So we're hoping and asking that if this is meaningful to you in any way, whether or not you even live in Knoxville or go to Crossings, we hope you'll invest some of your resources to continue making it possible. We have a lot to make up before our fiscal year ends in December. At the end of September, we've collected about 225,000 of the 400,000 we need this year. We have dipped into the $100,000 we keep in savings just to maintain a healthy cash flow in our checking. We generally have to do that this time of year. It's true that with our moving to one location in 6 or 7 weeks, we will save a little by not paying rent at two different places. That's just around $2,000, which is helpful, but it's not a ton. In the past several years, we've been behind around this point in the year, and God has always provided what we've needed in the fourth quarter. We are a little further behind in years past than in years past. So we are seriously asking, no matter how long or how short of a time you have been part of this community, we could really use your help and making sure that we can continue on in this good work of creating spaces for people who are truly discovering new and different and healing ways of experiencing God and faith. So we plan to update you again in December just to let you know how we're doing at that point. And as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Katie, our bookkeeper, or anyone on Ops and Lead team. I'm happy to get you their contact info. Our staff doesn't know anything about who gives what, but I'm happy to answer questions about how we steward the resources God has given us. So thanks for listening. Shalom.